This is the evening news of Friday, September 26, 2014. Making the headlines tonight, Jagdeo participates in UN Climate Change Summit. AFC makes another attempt to defend Trotman as probe into sexual molestation allegations widens. Granger accuses Ramjatan of lying about PPPC's buying votes of opposition MPs. Guy Suko Gawu signed 4% wage increase. APNU is planning a political protest at Plaisance. Taxi driver remanded for trafficking narcotics. Courts bar Kaito News from reporting confidential information, and Samantha J to perform at Palm Court. I'm Michael Young. Thanks for joining us. It's now time for your news in detail. Let's tell you first that former President of Guyana, Barrow Jagdeo, this week joined current and former heads of states, major business leaders and global civil society activists at the United Nations Climate Change Summit and other events in New York City. Details in this report.
On Monday, the former president attended the Clinton Global Initiative hosted by former U.S. President Bill Clinton and former U.S. Secretary of State Hillary Clinton. The Clinton Global Initiative focused on, among other priorities, the economics of combating climate change. At the end of the opening plenary, President Jagdeo spoke of his discussions with several political leaders during a private event hosted by President Clinton. The former president noted that they are 15 months away from the Paris climate change meeting, where the international community has committed to reaching a legally binding global agreement to stabilize the planet's atmosphere. The last such attempt was in Copenhagen in 2009, and the international community failed to do what it had to do. But thankfully, this time the level of awareness among heads of government is higher than before, and the next 15 months give them time to do what they have to do. Jagdeo said that for that reason, it is extremely important that the international community hears the voice of people from around the world, that the tough action needed to combat climate change has to happen now. Referring to the climate march that had seen 310,000 persons taken to the streets of New York City the day before.
Speaker of the National Assembly, Raphael Trotman, today made a very rare appearance at the Alliance for Change's press conference, where he told reporters that he will do what is right when the time comes. Trotman is at the center of disturbing sexual molestation allegations levied against him by a 22-year-old male. Details in this Alexis Rodney report.
That I have never in my life committed any act of a sexual nature that is illegal. I have never molested any child, male or female, and I have never, as a matter of fact, even as counsel, represented a person charged with a similar offense because of my abhorrence of matters of this nature. So at no time did I ever, and I will never in my life, do anything to hurt any child or commit any offense of a sexual nature.
That was Speaker of the National Assembly, Raphael Trotman, who is currently embroiled in a scandal that he allegedly molested a boy when he was just 12 years old. But the Speaker maintained his innocence, noting that he has total abhorrence for such acts. Trotman, who has been holding the Speaker's position since 2011, said that he has sought advice from legal minds overseas, noting that he will not leave his position based on mere allegations.
Anything that would detract from the flow of the work, I will not, and the business of the House, I will not be a part of it. So rest assured I will do what is right in the interest of Guyana, if and when that time comes.
Trotman declared that he is a patriot and loves the work he does. He said he will do nothing to injure the National Assembly and will do the right thing when the time comes.
Thanks, Alexis. A Partnership for National Unity has accused the government of using state funds for campaigning purposes. Details in this report.
Leader of a Partnership for National Unity, David Granger, has said that several of the projects currently being undertaken by the PPPC administration are being seen as election gimmicks. According to Granger, these actions are being blatantly committed and aimed at securing votes at any upcoming elections.
The People's Progressive Party Civic Administration has started its election campaign with a massive spending spree of state funds. The squandermania is aimed unapologetically at winning votes from constituents and communities which the PPPC neglected for years. Ministers Frank Anthony, Norman Whitaker, Pauline Sukai, Priya Manikchan, and Juan Hedgel, and Prime Minister Samuel Hines have been in the forefront of the pre-election spending spree.
He pointed to several examples, including the $1 billion cleanup project and a $10,000 education cash grant.
Minister of Education, Priya Manichan, waited over 6 months and is still to disburse the $10,000 grant promised to families of children at nursery, primary and secondary levels. The financial grant was earmarked in the 2014 national budget early this year, long before the start of the new school year, when people really needed that grant. But the disbursement was deliberately delayed in order to ensure greater impact on the PPP election campaign.
Meanwhile, he said the coalition is financially prepared in the event of any elections in the near future.
As far as the financial state of APNU is concerned, we are preparing. As you know, we launched our local government election campaign in October 2013, and we are preparing for elections, local government elections. If it so happens that general and regional elections will be held, we are still prepared. We have been preparing since October 2013 for the LGE. If the GRE comes, we will be ready for that as well. From every aspect, financially, emotionally, organizationally.
Meanwhile, leader of a Partnership for National Unity, David Granger, has said that none of his party members are in receipt of $30 million to vote against the no-confidence motion when it comes up in Parliament. Let's hear why in this report.
APNU leader David Granger has again dismissed concerns that the People's Progressive Party Civic is attempting to buy out his parliamentarians. AFC's leader Kemraj Ramjatan had accused the government of attempting to buy out parliamentarians ahead of the no-confidence motion debate. Although this claim has been dismissed by the government, Ramjatan has remained adamant that APNU Member of Parliament are being bribed by the administration.
First of all, as far as Mr. Ramjatan's claim is concerned, it is an invention. There is no evidence to support his claim, and no member of APNU has been approached for 30 pieces of silver or $30 million or whatever it is to vote in any way that is not in accord with APNU's policy. So that is a complete invention.
APNU members of Parliament Vala Lawrence and Annette Ferguson have both had voting hiccups in the National Assembly in the past. When asked whether he feels the statement by Ramjatan was an attempt to taint the integrity of the APNU politicians, this is what the opposition leader had to say.
Well, you must ask Mr. Ramjatan next time you see him.
So you don't think so?
Ask Mr. Ramjatan what is his motive. I don't know what his motive was. And I don't know that there's any vote by any member of APNU which impugns or which has any impact on their integrity. I'm satisfied with the integrity of all the members of APNU.
Bishop Mohammed, The Evening News.
Despite those utterances by the opposition leader, the coalition group maintained that there is no rift between the APNU and its partner, the Alliance for Change.
APNU's campaign manager Winston Felix has denied that there is a rift between his party and the Alliance for Change, the AFC. Felix's denial comes even in the face of attacks on the integrity of APNU's parliamentarians by the AFC.
Definitely not. Definitely not. APNU is a partnership with its own policies. So too is AFC. We have been pursuing the local government elections months ago. And that is a legitimate claim. We didn't fall in overnight on the AFC's no confidence motion.
PPPC's General Secretary Clement Rohey had pointed out the division, noting that one party was advocating for one thing while the other was pressing for another. But Felix today said that Rohey is nothing more than a blunderer.
Rohey is a blunderer. He blunders on everything. And he's blundered again on this one. There is no reason for anyone to think that the no confidence motion is going a different route. And the local government elections going another route. Two political parties pressing for two different things. We support the no confidence motion.
While the AFC is preparing for a debate on the no confidence motion, APNU is intensifying calls for local government polls. The AFC insists that its motion will clear the way for local government elections, but despite this, protests have commenced by APNU in advocacy for local government polls. Political analysts and onlookers are now questioning whether the two parties are one against the government or whether they will fall divided.
If you have a news tip or news story you would like our news team to follow, message or WhatsApp us, and telephone number is 680-9630, 603-117 or 617-2867. You can also call us at our office and telephone numbers 231-0382, 226-2102, 223-7230 or 223-7231. The Kaiser News has once again found itself in hot water as a multi-million-dollar lawsuit for libel was filed against the local newspaper for what are being referred to as scandalous articles published about the Commissioner General of the Guyana Revenue Authority, Khurshid Sattar. On Thursday, Sattar filed an ex parte application by way of affidavit for an interim injunction, which also seeks in excess of $500 million for false and malicious articles published between August 31 and September 23 in various editions of the Kaiser News. The lawsuit names publisher Glenn Lal, editor-in-chief Adam Harris, and the National Media and Publishing Company Limited as the three defendants. It was heard and granted in the chambers of the High Court Judge, Justice Sandra Kirschus, on Thursday. Stay tuned. This is the Evening News. More news still ahead. Welcome back. Thanks for staying with Evening News. In an effort to ensure that Guyana's animals are properly cared for, Minister of Agriculture Dr. Leslie Ramsamy on Thursday said he will be placing the Animal Welfare Bill on the parliamentary agenda next month. More details in this story.
Dr. Leslie Ramsamy, during the launch of Agriculture Month, said his ministry is now on a mission to ensure that all uncared for animals, including those that have been abandoned, become a thing of the past.
Whether it's dogs, cats, all roaming the streets, we're trying to ensure that we put a strategy in place that Guyana is known as a country to not only care for our people and care for our crops, but that we care for all living things, including our animals, and treat them better.
Ramsamy further stated that the ministry will also be engaged in the setting up of veterinarian clinics in every region across Guyana. Although there are already many veterinarian clinics here, these are focused on agricultural animals, he related. He said the usual clinics will continue, but this month the ministry will introduce veterinary clinics in all the regions, promoting better care for animals that are used as pets.
We are promoting better care of our animals in Agriculture Month 2014, and these clinics will be conducted. These are free clinics that will be conducted across the country.
According to Ramsamy, the Guyana Livestock Development Association is in the process of establishing permanent clinic days in all the regions.
The Ghana Sugar Corporation and the Ghana Agricultural and General Workers Union today signed an agreement for a 4% increase in wages for sugar workers. Details in this story.
Sugar workers unionized on the GAU will be getting a 4% increase in their wages and salaries starting from October. Following some 6 bilateral meetings between the corporation and the union, the agreement was documented and signed today at Guy Suku's office at LBI under the chairmanship of Chief Labour Officer Charles Ogle. The increase will be retroactive from January 1, 2014. After signing the agreement, GAU's President Kumal Chand noted that despite facing financial challenges, the company still managed to increase workers' wages and salaries.
I'm certain the corporation, like the union, recognize the importance of a settlement of this matter. Recognize that in the light of higher cost of living, movement in prices upward, transportation, etc., that an increase ought to have been addressed. And I think this factor must have influenced the corporation for us to reach a settlement.
Chand implored the workers to understand the crisis the company is facing and asked them to cooperate with management so that the productivity level is achieved at its highest. Guy Suku's Industrial Relations Director Jairam Pitam said that despite these challenges, the corporation is committed towards the improvement of its employees.
Paying an increase of 4% is indeed a heavy financial toll on the corporation. But like a responsible corporate citizen, the company, despite the financial hardship, has tried to see what it could do to invest in its people, in its employees. And it was in that sense that the corporation has decided to award an increase of 4%. It is not on the backdrop of affordability, but it is primarily of the company's interest to invest in its human resources.
The director noted that a lot of production time has been wasted as a result of the recent strike at Skeldon Estate. He added that the second crop is already behind time and Guy Suku cannot afford a repeat of such actions. Meanwhile, Chief Labour Officer Charles Ogle commended the parties for arriving at the agreement without the involvement of the ministry. He noted that such bilateral cooperation is good for any company. The increase will be paid to 2 categories of workers, the field and factory workers and the field foremen and forewomen. The payment will be implemented on October 5 for daily time and piece-rated workers, while payments to the salary employees will be paid from October 1.
Strict security and safety measures will be implemented for Guy Expo 2014 with over 300 security personnel manning the Sophia exhibition site. Details from Svetlana Marshall.
Guy Expo 2014 Safety and Security Manager Johnny Mertley said the Guyana Police Force will be supported by the private security organizations as it ensures the safety of Guyanese and international visitors during this year's exposition. Speaking at a press conference at the Sophia Exhibition Center on Thursday, Mertley said in addition to the Guyana Police Force, the Fire Service, the Health Ministry and the Guyana Water Incorporated GWI would be on standby throughout the 4-day event. Alluding to the security measures, Mertley made it clear that licensed firearm holders would not allow entrance with their weapons.
I'd like to take this opportunity to appeal to persons, firearm license holders. Leave your firearms at the nearest police station before you come to the National Exhibition Center. We have the Kitty Police Station, the Alberton Police Station. We have the outpost in Prashad Nagar. Those facilities have arrangements in place to keep your firearm, keep them safe until you're ready to uplift them.
In the area of traffic, the security and safety manager said systems are in place to allow for easy flow of traffic. He explained that while some routes will become one-way during peak hours, others will be cordoned.
We have already put in place an arrangement where some of the streets leading to the National Exhibition Center will be not only cordoned or divided into express lanes for persons coming to the exhibition center, but some of those streets will be manned at various timings and be turned into one-way streets. We have already arranged for 2 entrances for patrons coming into the National Exhibition Center, the southern entrance, which is the Duncan Street entrance, and the Garnet Street entrance. Those entrances will definitely facilitate the flow of traffic and ease the burden of persons having to wait for lengthy periods external to the exhibition center.
Additionally, during peak hours, drivers would be given the opportunity to park at no cost within the compound of the Sophia Exhibition Center. It was explained that on Saturday and Sunday, between the hours of 14 and 16 hours, vehicles with 15 or more passengers would be allowed free parking.
If you have a news tip or news story you would like our news team to follow, remember you can message or WhatsApp us and telephone numbers 680-9630, 603-117 or 617-2867. You can also call us at our office on 231-0382 or 226-2102 or 223-723021. The news gets hotter on the other side of the break. Stay with us. Welcome back. Thanks for staying with Evening News. It's now time for a look at what's happening in the region and the wider world. A police station on the outskirts of Port of Spain came under gunfire on Thursday night following a gun attack in the area that left 3 people, including a Jamaican national, dead. Police Public Relations Officer Inspector Wayne Maistar said that shortly after 9:30 p.m., police officers had received information about gunshots from an area in Leventel. He said that police investigations so far reveal that 5 men were in that area when a black vehicle and the occupants inside fired gunshots on the group, hitting them all and killing them. Now, internationally, UK's Parliament has backed British participation in airstrikes against Islamic State extremists in Iraq. After a 7-hour debate, MPs voted for military action by 524 votes to 43. The Conservatives, the Liberal Democrats and Labour Democratic Party leadership all backed airstrikes, although some MPs expressed concerns about where it would lead and the prospect of future engagement in Syria. It's now time for a look at your bridge reports. The Denmark Harbour Bridge is expected to be closed on Saturday, September 27 for a period of 1.5 hours. The Berbice River Bridge is expected to be closed from 5 hours 45 on Saturday, September 27 for a period of 1.5 hours. Join us on the other side of the break for your sport news sponsored by Macor.
Every day presents a few more challenges. Keeping your business running shouldn't be one of them. That's why we work every day towards ensuring your overall satisfaction. With over 100 skilled technicians and engineers equipped with the tools and skills to help you do more. With the largest parts inventory in Guyana, over 10,000 line items readily available. Driven by your success is not just a set of words to us. It is a code by which we live. That is why we are proud to say that we are Bridge.
Welcome back. It's now time for a look at Evening News Sports. Let's take a look first at your headlines together. Carter's 100 in vain as Tridents lose in Super Over. Demerara Berbice win a second round inter-county matches. Remember, the Sportscast is brought to you with the kind compliments of Macor.
Every day presents a few more challenges. Keeping your business running shouldn't be one of them. That's why we work every day towards ensuring your overall satisfaction. With over 100 skilled technicians and engineers equipped with the tools and skills to help you do more. With the largest parts inventory in Guyana, over 10,000 line items readily available. Driven by your success is not just a set of words to us. It is a code by which we live. That is why we are proud to say that we are Victory!
Welcome back. Let's take a look at your sport news in detail. Demerara demoralized the developmental 11 by an innings and 15 runs on Friday in their second round of the senior inter-county 4-day game at the Everest Cricket Club ground. Demerara's win came 10 minutes into the extended morning session on the penultimate day, with pacer Paul Wince 4 for 69 in dominant form. The developmental 11's second innings was built largely around Kimo Paul's 7-3, despite being 23 for 5 at one stage on the second day. Resuming on 38 for 5, the developmental 11 were bowled out for 169 in 43.4 overs. In the other second round game, Berbice trashed Essequibo by 9 wickets in 2 days. The third and final round will get underway on September 30th. Jonathan Carter scored an unbeaten 100, but his effort was in vain as Barbados Tridents were defeated in a super over by Cape Cobras in the Champions League T20 competition. Carter's won 11 from 68 balls, led Trident to 174 for 8 before Jivon Mendes picked up 4 wickets, as Cobras also ended on 174, losing 5 wickets in the process. Hasim Amla made 59 for the Cobras, who then scored 11 off of the 1 over bowled by Ravi Rampal. The Tridents replied with 10 for 1 in their 1 over. In the other game, Kings 11 Punjab stormed to a 120-run victory over Northern Districts to book a place in the semi-final. Kings 11 posted 215 for 5 before the bowlers went on a rampage, dismissing Northern Districts for 95 by the 16th over. Courts Furniture Store, in partnership with the Petra organization, on Thursday launched the 4th edition of the Pee Wee Schools football tournament at the entity's Main Street branch in Georgetown. Tristan Joseph was there and he filed this report.
At the press conference, Director of Petra organization Troy Mendonça saluted Courts for its effort in building what can possibly be termed as the future of football in Guyana.
So we want to, express our, gratitude towards them. For their contribution and the vision and the commitment to giving back to the public. Also, we want to say thank you to the ministry for supporting us and giving the blessings to this tournament. I know our organization, we always try our best to, produce a very good tournament.
Assistant Chief Education Officer Marcel Hudson was enthusiastic about the launch of the event.
The Ministry of Education, we are serious about partnering with stakeholders, different stakeholders, so that we could have the kinds of results that we want to see coming out of schools. And one of the things that we are concentrating on is that of raising rounded children, there's a saying, all play and no work makes Jack a dull boy, and all work and no play makes Jack a mere toy. And so the whole thing in life, it's about balance. And sometimes we have a lot of lopsided people here, overbalancing. And so we want people to play and to work. But in the midst of all of that, you must be disciplined, and what you produce must be fruitful.
Marketing Manager of Courts, Pernell Cummins, wished the teams well and thanked all stakeholders for making the Courts Pee Wee tournament one of the best tournaments in the country.
Well, this is the 4th year of the Courts Pee Wee tournament, and I must say every year it gets better, and it will continue to get better, and we look at taking it bigger every year. And Courts will continue to support this tournament. We continue to do the Pee Wee tournament. I must say thank you to Banks DIH, and I must commend the Petra organization for making this tournament possible. Without them, it would not be possible, as we at Courts, we only finance it.
Meanwhile, the round-robin knockout tournament will kick off on October 4th, with 24 schools vying for the championship. as St. Pius Primary will aim to defend their title as Pee Wee champs at the Tourist Park ground.
Thanks, Tristan, and that's a wrap for the evening news for today, Friday, September 26, 2014. Please remember to get a copy of tomorrow's edition of the Guyana Times for details of these stories and others. I'm Michael Young, thanking you very much for joining us and encouraging you to do join us at 7:30 tomorrow for another look at the evening news. Goodbye.